Don't be nervous, doctor, because I have valid doctor questions.
Good, valid.
So,
as opposed to your usual invalid question.
Yeah. So let's suppose I'm sick, which I am right now.
You got a cold.
Yeah, I have a cold, and I'm sucking a man's penis.
Let's say you had said cold, and you were giving oral sex.
Oral sex to a man. Yeah. He was wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Actually, double masked.
Why
right?
double masked?
What?
Why double mask?
Double protected.
Why?
That doesn't work?
No.
Okay.
Why well-fitting N95?
All right. He has a one fine. Okay. All right. One fitted L95.
N95.
L?
N95.
N95?
N.
Is there an L?
Not that I can think
They
of.
should come up with one. Yeah. A cheaper version.
Yeah. Agreed.
Anyway, can that person... They're not gay, by the way.
Oh, of course.
In the scenario.
Yeah, of course.
Can that
you
person
wouldn't suck a gay man's dick.
That's gay, though.
That would be gay.
No, I mean, it's
You're sucking a straight
no, what it is, it's a initiation to a fraternity.
I see. We'll just call it that.
You know how they do that in the fraternity?
Hyper male.
Yeah.
Super male.
The hyper male.
Super straight.
Super alpha males.
Super straight.
Right, and so you can't get sick that way?
You have to have a lot of circulating virus, right? That's if he ejaculates in your mouth.
Whoa. Do we do that in our fraternity or what?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the initiation, bro.
That's right. You did that.
If there's no,
you did it right.
If there's no there's no initiation.
Right. You did it right.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, we all did it for the fraternity.
Yeah.
So okay. So there's got to be a lot of.
What's the Bobby Lee fraternity? What the hell?
Yeah.
Sigma Lee.
Yeah.
So
Leah. Can you?
So most upper respiratory infections are in the upper respiratory tract where all the virus is concentrated.
Right.
So like we know coronavirus, boom, it's aerosolizing.
Right.
Yeah, that's mostly how these transmit. But when it comes to your hands, like secretions, right, can have virus in your face, your nose, your mouth. So you touch your face, and then you touch something else. Somebody else touches it. That's the way you get it too.
Yeah.
So
even if the guy has a cut on his penis, you know what I mean? It's not going to probably transmit.
I mean,
upper
why are you sucking a penis with a cut on it?
Jesus, I'm getting.
Well, I mean, he's an athlete.
Of course,
right?
Athletes
get
always
injured,
getting
right?
Cut penis.
He does that fencing.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's a fencing guy. He's the captain of our fencing team for our fucking... Yeah, let's go!
Sigma Lee!
Sigma Lee! Anyway, that's interesting.
You guys are too quick for me.
Is AIDS still a thing?
Yeah, there is such a thing called AIDS.
I know, but is it like, because remember in the 80s was like this thing?
Can I be honest? You're asking a lot of questions like, hey, if I hypothetically suck a guy's penis,
I know.
AIDS still a thing? What happened this weekend?
Don't worry.
Nothing.
I know very well this.
We're waiting for Khalyla. I have real questions.
I have a friend. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Who asked me if AIDS are still real?
No, I know it's real, but I'm just saying, is like before it was a death sentence.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, I can own a business. I can own a movie theater and you know what I mean? I like Magic Jackson.
No, I produced a great reality show back when people were just starting to live it. He said, "Screw her, we're not waiting for her." Just
No, we were just talking while you were.
And
you don't want to know what we were.
I did a great reality show called "I'm Positive." It was a great show about how people live with AIDS.
Oh, that's cool.
It was great.
How long did it last?
One episode.
Why?
Because there wasn't enough craziness, I guess.
Oh, right. Well, you gotta film the parts when they got the AIDS.
Right.
Yeah.
I should produce it.
The inception of the AIDS.
I mean,
he wants the actual act that led.
Well,
to
how about this? Why don't you just act it out? Like you kind of
like the black and white act.
No, like you act it out.
Act it out.
You like cartoons, like you guys?
Oh, the recreation.
The recreation is what I'm saying.
Like a murder recreation.
Yeah, murder recreation. Did you do that in it? How
no,
they got
we didn't do it.
Right,
no.
That's
Yeah, that's why we
Well, how about this? You do the ones on positive, the famous on positives.
Yeah, that's another way. Reality on celebrity on positive.
Yeah, that's better, right? You get magic on the. Who else has it?
God damn it! Now the Uber's calling me.
Really?
And all this stuff.
Dr. Drew's wife called Uber for him.
No, somebody called one for her on my phone somehow. Oh, shit.
What was that old-timey famous actor that died from the HIV?
Harvey Milk?
No.
He was a
Rock Hudson.
Rock Hudson. He was the guy. You know what I mean?
Hudson.
So you get Rock on there, Magic. That's the only two I know. Oh no, you know who has it? Charlie Sheen. You could do a Charlie Sheen one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there's somebody else. I think it's JVN.
JVN, is that a?
I don't know. Oh yeah,
Jonathan Van Ness.
Oh, I thought you were saying JVC, like the appliance, the company.
No, he's from the show Queer Eye. He's like a star.
So it's interesting that we're having this conversation about HIV because I was very involved in treatment of AIDS patients in the 80s. I mean, that's a lot of what I did. And you don't know this.
Fauci, right?
She heard me tell the story that Fauci kept telling us he was my hero because he was really our sort of guiding light during HIV. And he kept saying, you got to go out there and educate. And I had this opportunity to go on the radio. And I thought, okay, let's start talking about it. Nobody'd heard of it. We were just starting to call it, we weren't even calling it HIV yet. It was called HTLV3. The term safe sex hadn't been coined yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Did you know Harvey Milk?
I did not know Harvey Milk. How did you jump to him?
I don't know.
He was murdered. He was murdered, by the way.
Is that an old joke? An old person joke?
Well, no, the Harvey Milk thing too, like the whole cupcake defense.
Yeah.
Like the guy who killed him.
It was a Twinkie
defense,
yeah.
not the cupcake.
Defense,
so basically, the guy who killed Harvey Milk, his defense said that because he had been eating such a large amount of like junk and Twinkies, that he went nuts, and that's why he killed Harvey Milk.
Well, that makes sense. No.
No.
You get a sugar high.
No.
Okay. My bad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're looking well, by the way, my
What do you
friend.
mean?
You look a lot better than when I've last seen you last couple times.
I looked awful before?
Not awful, but
as a doctor, that's concerning.
I can see through you.
Yeah, but you should say something.
You know what I'm saying?
When you see me looking like the way I did, you should say something.
I always said something. In fact,
you didn't say you look. You didn't say you look like shit.
I said, sorry. You can not let us say shit
I love
on the
you.
show?
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Because I respect you.
You can
you're
say
like Lex Friedman, you know what I mean? Like you're like a high elevated,
it's all
educated
good. Don't
man.
treat me.
Okay, fuck you, man.
Yeah, good. So I can just see it in your eyes. I can just see. I
look better.
Even though you have a cold, you look better.
I got a year last week.
See?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
What's up, dog? Yeah.
No, it's weird. I can see it. And I can see when you're not. You remember the first time I was on? Last time I was on this thing.
Was in the old condo.
Old house, yeah. And I was like, dude, you're going to relapse. I was like,
and he did twice.
You did say that.
I was like, you got some tune-up to do. Remember I made you call your old sponsor, the Indian dude?
Oh, yeah.
Native American. What was he?
Yeah. Korean.
Yeah,
close.
Very close. In my head, I saw this shaman.
Yeah.
He was sort of like that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of shaman, what are your thoughts on Bobby wanting to do ayahuasca?
Oh, yeah. No.
Everyone's telling me to do it.
It's not for you.
Why?
You have 1 year
so
of sobriety.
rude.
Yeah.
That's so rude.
It's so rude. It's not for you. Why you can't handle it?
So
I can handle it.
You have a very special genetic biology that we know gets activated by things. And it's not an absolute no for you, right? But you don't have to talk to your sponsor. You have to get maybe another year under your belt. And I'm not saying I'm not against ayahuasca. It can be very helpful for some people, and I get it. All that hallucinogenic therapies I'm a fan of. I just can't recommend it because we don't know the risks yet. But I have seen many addicts go out because of ketamine, ayahuasca. What else am I saying? Go on with there's kind of mushrooms, popular stuff, and it's like, okay, not intrinsically there's nothing wrong with it, but you might activate that.
Well, that's why I haven't done it because I know there's a new because I've been going to a lot of meetings and I'm back in it, and there's a crop of younger people that they do it behind their sponsor's back.
Okay, that's not recovery.
Yeah, I know, but they don't change their day.
Watch what happens.
Oh, is that what it is? I haven't seen the effect yet.
Yeah, just watch it.
I see.
Yeah.
And so some of them are like, dude, it's really cleared up my trauma. Like
it does help trauma.
Yeah, and all that stuff.
And do you have a lot of trauma?
Oh,
I forget. I just remember I remember you traumatized your mom, but I don't remember your mom traumatized.
Oh, vice versa too, by pal. Okay.
Two-way street.
It's a two-way street.
Okay, so I'm not against it for you in any kind of categorical way. It's so good to see you with 1 year under your belt. I don't want to fuck that up. That's sort of my feeling about it.
Well, that's my instinct. And also it's like...
To fuck it up?
No, my instinct was not...
It's usually your instinct.
No, well, I'll tell you what the instinct was. It's like, I can't tell my sponsor because I know what he's going to say.
All right, well then...
Right, so that's why I haven't done it because it's like, I have to tell him.
You then explore it with him a little more and kind of bring it up and don't say, I'm going to do it because...
No, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But it is...
I'm curious.
Well, Bill W. did it.
Yeah, on his way sort of out. He was much older then. And, by the way,
much later on in his
and
life.
He did LSD.
Experimentation.
Look,
and by the way, Mrs. Bill W. was the one that reported on it, and she was like, "These guys are getting fucked up, and I'm very worried we're going back out again."
Oh wow!
Was it at the tail end of his life? Was he just this is how I go out?
Not the very.
I don't know if he did the rocker thing. You know what I mean?
But by the way, I'm a huge fan of LSD for end of life dread. Clearly, that works there.
Really, end of life dread specifically.
Yeah. Yes, because what's the risk? What are you risking?
When do you take that?
Like really towards the end. And
I know, but how do you know what the end is?
Well, we can kind of tell.
But when Clint Eastwood
die?
No, but is he at the end?
He wants to know.
He is 90-something.
No, he just seems to keep going for
Yeah, that's true. Oh, so you have to know you're about to die.
You have to have a terminal prognosis.
Yeah, so you have 3 months, and then this is probably an existential fear that happens.
Well, and then what people have, the self kind of melts in the LSD experience, and people feel okay about being without into something bigger than the self. That's sort of the deal.
Oh my God, I'm going to do that for sure then.
If I were dying, I'd do that too.
I'll call you before.
Both of us, we'll do it together.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
We have to have the diagnosis at the same time though.
In the forest?
No.
I imagine us in a forest.
No.
Why not? Let's go to that forest in Japan.
Talking about sucking dick.
The suicide.
Oh yeah. Before you came on, Bobby had a lot of questions.
Suicide forest.
Japan. Before you came in, he kept talking about sucking dick.
I know.
Oh, it's of course.
What?
Sexual imprinting.
Yeah, what a sexual imprint with you.
No.
Wait,
what are you talking about?
Sexual.
What are we talking about? What's going on?
I want a sexual imprint.
I'm not gay.
We talked about this on Pat Tuesday.
I mean, no gay.
We talked about this on.
I'm just tired.
When you've been like sexually assaulted as a kid, Dr. Drew was telling us that sometimes you reenact that.
You want to role play with Dr. Drew.
Well, I
won't be a part of a traumatic reenactment.
We're not. Well, when I went to that last year, when I went to the place that I go to, the trauma place for a week, they do a thing where it's like we would do an activity with all the people there was 12 of us, and we pick one person and we role play a traumatized situation
with an empty chair.
Yeah, well, so one guy got raped in a van, and so the counselor goes. And he was kind of a Southern guy, and it was very difficult for even to say what he was saying in group. And they're like, "All right, well, let's create the van." So we had to pick up couches to make a van.
Was this UCB?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's where I was, UCB.
I am. I am not huge fan of reenactment.
Right, and then she goes, "Who wants to play the priest?" And the guy.
Did you, Bobby?
No. The guy chose me. No, they go, you pick the people, so you play. Who's your dad? Who's your mom? Who's God?
You wanted to
select I go, I want to play God.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, no, you're the priest.
You look like the rapist. He looked at me and goes,
you're the priest. I got to be the priest? And he goes, who's your 13-year-old self? So he picked this white guy to be and then we had to do the whole thing.
Was it emotional?
For him, it was.
Yeah.
Did he shut down? Did he cathartic or did he just dissociate?
No, he started crying and trembling and stuff.
Oh man!
Yeah. And he goes, now tell.
Dissociating.
What?
Yeah.
Is that dissociating?
Yeah.
No, but then he goes, after we did it, he's like, now tell your 13-year-old self.
I forgive you.
No. It's not your fault.
Yeah. I forgive you.
I forgive you. Yeah. And he's like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault, right? And the guy is sitting there, just laying there going, can we end this? This is weird.
Yeah. So I would rather you do ayahuasca than those kinds of reenactments.
So you don't think that's helpful?
I mean, you can do those things, obviously.
Yeah.
For some people, they can be helpful, but they can be also very destructive. So you have to really be careful with who you.
So initially, when he had relapse, everyone was like, we can also talk about the name. When Bobby relapsed, everyone was like, oh, go to the best. But when he went there, I got a phone call about 2 days after, and he was like,
get me the fuck out of here.
Get me the fuck out of here.
I begged him to call me. I'm going to stop giving you shit because I give you so much shit about not calling me and not following up with me that eventually that's going to make you even more not want to come to be around me because I'm going to give you shit every time you call. Because you never call, you never come around. But I have really high quality places I can refer.
Yeah,
to.
I should.
But did that place used to be good, and then it just?
It has. I don't know what's going on right now, but any place. The thing about drug treatment, any place can literally be great 1 month and 3 months later be shit.
Oh.
It's so highly dependent on the staff and how low or high functioning the patients are, and what's sort of going on in the mix there. And a lot goes on into that, and that's one of the problems in drug treatment.
What I didn't like about it was number one. Every morning you'd have to wait in line and to get pills.
That's sort of normal.
I know, but it was like so many.
I know. It's very psychiatrically based.
Yeah.
Right? And so you have a lot of eating disorder, a lot of low functioning, a lot of cutting, a lot of all that kind of stuff.
And then there was no like one-on-one session. It was like I was just in these gigantic groups with 30 people,
right? But
taking notes in a class. I was like, I got to get out of here.
And to be fair, drug treatment really isn't a one-on-one thing, right? How much do you remember of one-on-one treatment the first 2 weeks in your treatment?
I understand that, but I also, because I had been sober for 30 years collectively, in the program,
you getting psycho education does not make sense.
Yeah, I just didn't need to know about.
So
history
I would argue, stay with the basics, my friend.
Which is what?
Just go to a meeting every day.
I know, you're right.
Do step work.
I'm going to do
check
that
in with your sponsor regularly.
Right.
And then my daughter's a year sober now too.
Oh, great! Congratulations.
It's
to her.
It's really fun to see it this close, and I'm of good use to her because I know how this works. But seeing her second year get going, what I'm impressing upon her is great. I can see it in your eyes. I can see what the recovery is doing for you. I can see the magic. I see what's happening. Don't hide from your sponsor, which is your sort of move. I don't know why you do that.
Not anymore.
Well, you just talked about doing it. You just talked about.
You told me that. Remember, we talked about. I was like, well, if you're thinking about it, why don't you talk to your sponsor? And
that's why I already know what he's going to say. So that's why I haven't done it.
Okay. That is one shade. Next step is hiding. Okay, just tell him.
Right,
everything.
but it's not fully hiding.
Tell him
he's creepy,
bro. It's like let me just.
It's moving towards hiding. But anyway,
it's like a ninja without a mask.
Enough.
Oh, still a ninja.
Yeah, still, but he's not really because he's not. He can see you.
But
I don't know. Let's move on.
But the other thing about year two, and you tell me if this isn't true of the last time you did this. Year two is about living a certain kind of life.
Yeah, I just got into it. This is the second year. First week of the second year.
I know. Simple life, making your bed.
Yeah.
Simple, living right sized, right life.
Can you not do the Pac-Man thing? Because it's like really freaking me out.
It is a little annoying. It's making him uncomfortable. He doesn't like it.
Can you repeat that? So making your bed.
So that's the first year, right?
Second year.
Second year.
I've been making my bed. I made my bed.
First year, I just worry about.
I did it wrong.
First year, I worry about the engagement in the program. Okay. I go to meetings every day. I want you to talk to your peers. I want you to have coffee afterwards. I want you to get a sponsor. I want to work your steps. Basic.
Yeah.
Second year, it's like, there's some things in your life now. Now we have to start living right sized, right life, right. A certain kind of life.
Okay,
that's sort of the more.
Can I say what I've done differently in this year?
Yes. You know I'm right?
You're 100% right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, never wrong.
Okay. Repeat that.
So I this time around I started my own meeting.
Nice.
It's at a comedy club on a day at noon, and it's 20 people.
Cool.
And it's like really, it's making me show up there. And I also bring the literature, I bring all that stuff, right? And I set up coffee and stuff, set up the chair.
This is why I was doing the Pac-Man thing. I was getting ready to plug.
Yeah. And I've never done that before.
No, I know.
And I've been also doing something differently. Is I've been not keeping my mouth shut when it comes to friends of mine that are fully in their disease. And I don't say it like in a dismissive or judgmental way. I'm just saying it in a way where it's like, listen, I just want to let you know that I have a place. If you ever want to go, it's this day. You're invited, and this and that. And it seems to be, I feel like I have, some kind of purpose or whatever. That's what it feels like.
Well, it's also the giving back, right?
Giving back?
No, but really, it's service is really. You laugh at it, man, but it's really, I'm really
happy.
important.
That's joy.
I have a question.
By the way, she looks better too. I mean, you guys look great together
Thanks,
now.
Yeah,
a lot of time it was like her going, "He frustrates me so much. What about this? What about him doing that? Why does he always do this?"
We're not together anymore.
I understand.
Maybe that's
but it's working for you.
I feel like we've gotten closer as friends.
I see that.
Even.
Yeah, I see it.
I have a question in regards to like Bobby's recovery, and we can obviously take this out if this is like too personal.
To me?
But, yeah, about you. But like just as like from like where I stand and what I'm observing, like what happens if like okay, you are free of the usual, the drugs, but then I'm kind of seeing it like morph into maybe like
sex. It's usually where it goes, sex and gambling. So you talk to your sponsor. Very simple. You stay out of it.
I know.
Yeah.
I am out of it.
Brought it up. I mean, stay out of it.
But I normally that's what I have to do. I have to get everybody like, hey,
exactly.
Stay away, stand back.
Yeah.
Make sure you
stand back, stand by. That's what Donald Trump said.
Have I generally stood back though?
Be a proud boy, okay?
Stand back and
stand by.
But I'm not saying don't bring it up. I'm saying like set a boundary, stand back.
I have stepped. I'm completely like leave him to his own.
But January 6th will happen, and then you go.
It's so subtle how this shit can take you out with gambling and sex and porn and all this stuff. It really can get you going. So you must talk to your sponsor about that stuff. Talk to your sponsor.
I have no idea what you're saying. What is going on here?
Oh boy.
Well, may I defend myself?
You don't have to.
I want to.
Go ahead.
I know I don't have to, but
not to her.
I'm a captain of the ship, and may the captain speak. Yeah.
For me.
I agree.
Not for her.
I agree. I agree with you. You know what I mean? I love pussy. I'm kidding. No, yeah, you're right. I love it. My point is this: it's delicious. Sorry, it's delicious. So fucking gross.
It's delicious.
No, sorry, my bad. I love you. Listen, I'm under the weather a little bit right now, and I feel like I'm being cornered. And I want to say this: I do agree with you, and
That's why she brought me here.
And yeah, I'm very mindful.
I'd like to say something first.
How?
You brought this up to me. I didn't bring this up to you.
Today?
No, when we were on a couple weeks ago, you said, I think that I had a problem with...
I know, but saying it on the thing is,
Yeah, we could take all of this out.
We don't have to.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You some of this stuff was going on a long time ago, too.
What do you mean?
You've talked to me.
I know what everyone... I know what everyone says.
SLA can be a really important part of recovery.
I've been thinking about it, and
it's a kind group. It's not like SA. It's very easygoing. You go on Zoom. You can not turn your camera on even if you don't want, and it really helps set boundaries and goals.
I have other comedians involved in it. I've been asking.
I know a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah.
And do you know about the circle plans?
What?
That?
It's where you if you're going to do a program in SLA and SA. You do a 3-circle plan. You have an outer circle of things that are healthy, and you want to do all that, keep doing. An inner circle of things that are slippery, you got to be careful with, talk to your sponsor about. And an inner circle of things you just are not going to do.
Okay, let's do that now.
I'm not. We shouldn't do that.
Why?
Because that's really programmatic. You know what I mean? That's programmatic. There needs to be a separation between program and media, right?
Right.
Some separation.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to try.
And
circle me up. Circle me up.
Let's do it this way.
Right.
What should be in your inner circle? Do you imagine?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. So the things I'm not gonna do, right, for me is the stuff that's like mind-altering chemicals, like
No, this is around sex and relationships.
Oh, okay.
It's the SLA circle plan.
Watching pornography.
Okay.
Going to sex clubs.
Okay.
Going to sex parties. Those kind of things.
Mm.
So that's I shouldn't do, and I haven't done except for the porn. And the sex parties. No, I'm kidding. So no porn. And then
now sometimes that means no computer, no phone.
What do you mean?
Because it's too slippery. The phone is too. It's just ink right there, or the computer. So or somebody has to clean it up for you. They can sort of clean the phone.
Well, I know how to do the history thing.
No. I mean, make it so you can't get into those sites and things. So to get rid of anything.
Well, that's like last night I went to dinner with a friend, and she ordered alcohol, right? And I'm not threatened by.
I'm not saying you have to do it. That's why I didn't want to do this. You don't have to do any of this. We're just sort of talking about how it's done. Okay.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. And okay, let's.
And I'm not going to argue with the success you're having. You know what I mean? You were having great success.
Well, here's what I want to say though is that I have to admit some things. Number one, I feel like I've never felt like this before about being sober and about the program. Even way back when I was a kid, there's more of a desperation.
Oh, now there's desperation?
I think there's more of a realization that, it's just, when you get sober at 17 years old, you think to yourself, there is that thing in the back of your head. It's like, maybe it was a phase. I was young, but you still keep at it. I can handle it, right? Because I've had adult experiences in spiritual suffering and in that prison in my mind, it's just so visceral, and I don't know. It's just like the first step is really vivid in my mind. You know what I mean? That obviously I'm powerless over it, and my life was unmanageable. You know, so those things have kind of.
Isn't it interesting how addicts have to prove it to themselves?
It is very
interesting. So interesting. You have to prove it. You can't take somebody else. No one will take your word for it, my word for it. They have to experience it.
It's funny because people call me and go, my friend, like a lot of comics call me and you go, like, you know that so-and-so and he's about to die. And it's like, I know this person, and it's like, I've said things before, but, they know that they have to hit a bottom and they have to come to that conclusion to themselves, Yeah. And there's a lot of people that we know that, obviously I would never say the names, that are on the precipice of death. I mean, you can see it, you know what I mean? They're dying before your eyes, and there's just nothing you can do. And it's like, and they're very talented people. That's what's...
I mean, I don't want to always say there's nothing you can do. There's things you can try, but we know what works. Like when somebody's ready to go, it's easy. It's really kind of easy then. But getting somebody ready.
But when you have a guy, right? Like, for instance, there's this Monday night men's meeting that I go to, and there's a...
By the way, where's Bobby Lee? I thought he was going to come in here. I don't know who this guy is sitting over here, but where's Bobby? Oh, yeah. Isn't Bobby in here? Okay.
So there's a phone list, right? I'm on the phone list, and I have it, right? And there's a couple of names on there where it's like, oh, these guys are about to die. They know about this meeting because they're on the phone list, right? And this meeting I go to are guys with 50 years of sobriety. I mean, these guys are, you know what I mean?
Real deal.
The real deal. Yeah. Like, people that people would know. These are circuit speakers, right? And if they're exposed to this kind of sobriety, they know where to go, right? And at that point, I think a lot of it has to do with, like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. If you were that guy, you know what I mean? Of course, you would need, a pathway or a light.
What this is, a warm handshake.
A warm handshake, right? But these people have had all that. Yeah. They've been to all the rehabs. Yeah. They've been told by their agents and managers. I mean, the list goes on. Yeah. So it's like, at that point, what do you do?
It's hard to watch. I mean, you can do an intervention, but that, will get people into treatment. And maybe what you hope for is you can get a hold of them in some way where they can be sober long enough that their brain starts to open up a little bit and they start to be reasonable again.
Uber?
No, it's my daughter now.
Yeah, go pick it up.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Paulina? I'm on a podcast. You okay? Okay, we're talking about sobriety.
We'd have to put it on speaker.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Bobby Lee and his...
Hi, I have a year sober last week.
You what?
I had a year sober last Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just got my year December 22nd.
Woo!
Yeah, so I feel you. I had the same year you had.
Yeah. It was great, free.
It's better on this side.
Yeah, it is. Well, hopefully I'll see you at a meeting.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, I'll call you in about an hour or so.
Yeah, call me.
Okay.
It's cat related.
Oh, what's wrong with the cat?
Well, the house I'm sitting at is this incredible artist.
I'm probably right next to it right now. Yeah, and?
Well, if you want to come by and see it, it's incredible. And she said I can have the cat here.
Oh.
But I don't know if it's good to...
Nah, don't do it. I'll take care of him.
Okay.
All right. All right. Bye.
Yeah. I could. Cats are very. They
need the rhythm. Yeah, with their familiarity and stuff. Yeah. And they'll pee everywhere when he comes back. I don't want all that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me talk to my daughter. It was good. But her sobriety has been really a joy to be a part of. And she's cannabis, full on. And people don't believe, now she's a evangelical about it because everything in all the books warning people that she like did it. It all happened to her. Everything.
Well, what I found with that cannabis was my downfall.
It's for some people. I mean, in my family's brain particularly, it makes them really psychotic and depressed, and they just go crazy.
I get manic.
Yeah, he went through a really strange thing where it was full-blown mania. He could not sleep for days at a time, to a point where I was like, I think he's using more than...
Was it just cannabis at that point?
Mm-hmm. And it was, because I was so
it's so
insecure.
Powerful. You know,
I was so weirded out. I was like, no, he's on some uppers, so I made him take a drug test, and it was just cannabis.
We
and
keep
I was
saying
like,
just cannabis. I think people got to understand there's not
right.
It's so powerful what we're getting exposed to now.
Also, it's like I don't. If you get edibles, for instance, it doesn't say like it doesn't give you directions of like this is the dosage, right? So I would do 1,000 milligrams of edibles,
and he would wake up in the middle of the night, and then he would be like, I'm like, what are you doing? And he'd be like frozen in this like, and he's like, am I moving? And he would just freeze in this thing, and it was so scary.
I had a toxic reaction to weed. I was at a famous weed smoking person's house, famous guy, and I thought, I'm gonna have to smoke
Snoop Dogg.
It's not quite that bad, but I thought I'm gonna have to smoke weed with these guys tonight. So I take 2 hits, and I have a toxic reaction, and I have like I'm like Parkinsonian.
Yeah,
my wife goes, sit down. And I can't figure out how to make my body do that.
Yeah.
And I was dry mouth, photophobic. It's called anticholinergic delirium.
Oh,
and,
shit.
And
I think
I
that's
was
what
sick.
he had.
I was sick for I couldn't drive for 2 days, and I wasn't right for 5 days.
That sounds like you. And then he would have, he couldn't regulate his body temperature. So even if it was in the summer, he would just be wrapped up and freezing.
The other thing, I had some of that, and I had time compression and lengthening too. I went outside. I thought, all right, if I can get through 2 hours here, just cooling out, I'm kind of pacing, and I'm the opposite of high. I'm miserable. I'm miserable. It's just misery. And I'm kind of out there, and my wife comes out and checked on me, and then she went back. She came out and checked on me. I thought, all right, what do we got? About an hour and 4. I made about an hour and 45. I go, how long have you been out here? And she goes, 10 minutes.
Wow.
I blew my mind. I said, well, I got to get out of here.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's so funny. You drive down especially you drive down Ventura, for instance, right? And there's just so many stores.
All those green crosses.
Yeah, these green crosses everywhere.
And they're so nice.
They're so nice. Boutique-y,
look, and we are not here trashing people that love weed. People for whom it works, good for you. But it is a wide spectrum of how it's tolerated and what it does to people.
But somebody told me though that when I was in one of the rehabs, they said that sometimes people with real traumatic lives, when they take weed, it has an adverse effect.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Any hallucinogen can have an adverse.
Really? Yeah.
That's what a sort of bad trip kind of is.
Sort of. Yeah. So it's like
how I understand it is that even when I did ketamine, one of the things that was told to me is if you have any history of schizophrenia or anything like that, but basically you don't have the centrifugal force to bring it all back together if you take a hallucinogen or something like that.
Were you taking it for depression?
Yeah. So I'm very kind of stone cold sober. I maybe drink twice a year.
But was it like a 3 treatment, with anesthesia, or was it a light thing with guided therapy?
It was ketamine assisted psychotherapy.
Okay.
But there is an ER doctor there.
Yeah. There's another version where you just go out and they just give you a big dose of it, and you do that 3 times. That helps mood.
Oh, wow. But that's what it's. I was out.
Not for you, sir.
I was definitely out. I couldn't move my body.
But could you hear? And
I could hear a garbled version of my voice. I could hear. I would occasionally ask, am I breathing?
Interesting.
But it was a distant voice, am I breathing? That. And then,
well, that's because ketamine is a dissociative anesthetic. It makes you dissociate.
Did it help?
100% for me.
Wow.
Faster than any, because I was on antidepressants for a long time.
Yeah, there's clearly going to be a sort of a revolution in the use of these things. It already is underway. People are doing it. The problem is I've seen catastrophes, and so I worry like crazy.
Oh, wow.
I could see how it can be really catastrophic.
Yeah. Ketamine, not so much catastrophic. But ketamine, what I worry about is triggering somebody. But I've seen catastrophes from other hallucinogens,
Yeah, I mean, I'm very mindful about it. I get it. Let me ask you. Let's just stop talking about it, okay? And I want to ask you about another thing, okay?
Okay.
Because we talked about the last time when we were at the old house. We talked about the homeless problem in LA.
Oh my God! Do you remember the last time I saw you? By the way,
when was it? Oh, yeah, I did see you. Where did I see you?
In Austin, I think.
In Austin, Texas. That's right.
Okay.
Why?
I'm just curious if you remember that.
No, I travel so much. I meet so many people.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I know I saw you.
We were on stage together.
We loved it.
All right, okay.
We loved it together.
I don't think you were sober.
That's what I'm kind of getting at. But
where was it?
Yeah,
Austin.
It was in Austin. Yeah, I don't think you were
it's like
sober
4 months
yet.
ago or 5 months ago with
I think longer than that.
with Cheeto.
Oh, wait, maybe you were.
I was sober.
Yeah.
I was sober.
You're sober?
Yeah. I was with Juliana. Yeah, I was sober. Yeah. That was great.
That's right. That was fun.
Good to see you.
That was so good. Anyway,
so good to see you.
Homeless.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is that you said that like because 3 years ago, or whatever, the last time you were on the show, you were saying that like there are new kind of diseases on the street.
Oh yeah.
Is it getting worse or better in LA?
It's getting worse. That part's getting a little better because they're controlling the rat populations a little better.
Okay.
And God bless Karen Bass. She's really trying. She really is. She doesn't really understand what she's dealing with.
Yeah.
But I admire her. She's like going forward with stuff.
Sure.
And the activists, so-called, which are in my mouth murderers, they just murder people by leaving them to die on the streets, have not been giving her as hard a time as they would someone else, which has been great. But of course, you can take you take a bunch of drug addicts, you put them in a house. Now you have fires and meth labs and gangs and all kinds of other things because you got to treat the addiction or nothing changes, and they go back out on the street.
Well, it's a combination of addiction and also probably psychological things that are going on and stuff. How do we address that?
There's a team, there's a group, a friend of mine put together a team of medical doctors that are going out on the street using long-acting psychotics, using opiate replacement therapies, and have built now a team of like 50 people where they're actually treating these people. And guess what? It's making a huge difference.
Okay.
These are all severely ill. By all, I mean 85% severely ill people. Not hard to treat, quite treatable.
Yeah.
And they're being left to die on the street. When I last talked to you, I believe it was 5 a day were dying. Now we're at 7 dying a day on the streets of Los Angeles County alone.
Oh my God.
Alone. And those are drug addiction deaths.
What do they treat them with, like Suboxone?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. It's these are people I've treated shit like this my whole life. It's just awful to see them just out there dying. And there's a video going around of Newsom saying clean and sober is the worst thing anybody ever said. And I was like, I can't even comment on this.
Wow.
But I don't know when that was from. It might have been from a little while ago. But point being is there's 23 million people are in the program. Yeah. And they're doing great and they thrive. And not everyone can do that, right? I understand that some people may need some sort of intermediate steps, if you have multiple
if I was governor, right, and I had all power, let's say I was the dictator of California, and I'm sorry to seem heartless, right, but I'm just gonna, let's say you guys are my city council guys, right, and we've got Elon Musk somewhere around, and we got some smart people around, but you know what I mean, we got money, right?
Yeah.
So what if I said this, okay? Just hear me out, right? Do you ever guys see the movie Escape from New York?
I don't know.
I saw Warriors.
Great movie. Same concept.
Same idea.
Same concept, right? Can't we let's go out to like a desert.
No. They'll never go.
May I finish?
Okay.
All right? Because you're my vice president.
Yep.
And I have not said my idea. And I don't like when you do that.
I don't think governors have vice presidents.
In this situation.
Lieutenant governor.
You're lieutenant governor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing.
I'll hold my tongue now.
All right? Dr. Drew.
Yes, sir.
All right? So let me just finish my idea, right?
Yeah.
We build a city.
Yeah.
All right? We wall it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sort of like Attack on Titans. Thick walls. Tall, right? Check it out. There we go.
There it is.
We're not going to have we're not in New York, so we wouldn't have that. We would probably have, what's another monument thing that we have there?
In New York or in Los Angeles?
In LA. We'll bring the Hollywood sign over there.
Yeah.
On the ground.
Yeah. We'll just put it on the ground. Right. Put the Hollywood sign. And so we build like facilities inside where we have psychiatric units. Lieutenant Governor, I feel like you're
I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes.
No, I feel like
I think he's gunning for your seat.
I think you're gunning for my seat, number one, all right?
Probably true.
All right, and I know what you're doing, okay? And number two, also, what I'm saying is, let me finish my fucking idea.
Okay.
All right? We have programs. We bring food in, right? Housing, okay? Nurses, the whole thing, right? Why can't we do that?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I love your idea.
Thank you so much, because that's what I campaigned on. I campaigned on the city.
What you're talking about is building a hospital, a psychiatric hospital.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
That's exactly what it would be.
That's what you're talking about. That has full, what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of range of services from acute to subacute to outpatient to residential to independent living to vocational rehab. And yes, that's exactly what's needed. That is exactly what's needed.
So let's
do it.
You're right.
In California,
but we're not doing that.
We don't have enough psychiatrists. We don't have enough psychiatric beds. We don't have enough residential treatment centers. and we're not allowed to get near these patients and do anything with them if they say they don't want it. That's the law. And you're allowed to steal to support your drug habit, use a certain amount of drugs, and traffic in a certain amount of drugs, and no consequence. And addicts from all across the country know that, and that's why they come here. They come here to practice their disease. So if you suddenly go, come with me, they're gonna, what do you think they're going to do? You're weighing your disease. Somebody says, come with me.
You didn't hear my full plan.
Well, let's hear that part.
It's not come with me.
Okay.
Nice.
You're going.
Oh, that's the slogan.
You're going. You're going.
But it's illegal in California.
Yeah, you change that law. You want to be lieutenant governor?
Hey.
Yeah, because I'm about to fire this guy.
You're going.
You're going. You're going.
You're going.
But to your point, we should be like, hey, you can't stay here. We got a thing over here that's great food, work. We'll retrain you. Let's talk. We'll talk about your drugs and stuff over there. Let's just get over here. Just get over here with people who have motivational interviewing skills, that know how to do this, know how to get somebody into the program. In a few days off drugs,
we'll put a strip club in the fucking Might City,
and they're all pissed.
They'll love it.
They're all pissed when they get sober. Like, who fucking left me on the street like that?
Yeah.
Who did
we have that. You know, how about that? You know, at fairs, they have the little ball thing where it goes up and you can go. We have a bunch of those machines.
Ski ball.
Yeah, we'll have skee ball. We'll have the ice thing.
Oh, air hockey.
Air hockey. We'll have the whole thing.
An arcade.
We'll just call it Jim and Busters or whatever.
Bob and Busters.
Bob and Buster. Bobby Lee and Busters. Yeah, tell me the story.
So when I have a sister who is about 10 years older than me. When I was 8 years old, she was had just entered college. She graduated high school as a valedictorian, but then started dating a boy.
And by the way, no one in your family is allowed to do anything else, right? Everybody had to be perfect, valedictorian. You got it.
She got into drugs during her first year of college.
That damn boyfriend, it's his fault.
And then got in it so bad that she became like basically a street meth head for 5 years. And she would come back occasionally to the house and with these like gangrenous like wounds that were like non-healing. And
you know why they're not healing?
Why?
Because meth addicts pick at them.
Oh, God. I remember the smell so well.
It's an awful smell, yeah.
And my dad being like, I'm going to do something, like, please forgive me, universe. I know everyone's going to hate me for this.
This is what I'm getting at. I love your point. Go ahead.
No, but this can only happen in the Philippines.
No, it
can't happen in America.
Check it out. Go ahead. Say it to Dr. Teacher.
It involves handcuffs.
Yes.
And radiators. Just handcuff her to the radiator for a couple months. I've always said, look, if I could take my patients and put them in a room for 30 days and then start working with them, I would have people very workable.
That's what my dad did. So he was like, forgive me, Lord, forgive me, everybody. He cleared out my upstairs bedroom.
Held her prisoner.
And he held her prisoner. Yeah. He shot her. He tranked her.
Whoa.
Oh, not a shotgun? That's what I thought.
How did he?
I don't know what he did.
How did he pull that? Is he a doctor?
He did go to med school, but he never practiced. And he
never got it.
Shaved her head so she couldn't use it against
G.I.
herself.
Jane style.
He cuffed her. She detoxed in our house. I heard screaming and convulsing for a whole week. It was terrifying for me. And it was like having like basically Linda Blair, like the Exorcist, living upstairs. And when after he detoxed her, he put her in a lockdown facility for 6 months, which was like a really hardcore military boot camp where they had to get up at 4 a.m., do like hard labor, and without visitors for 6 months.
That was like a treatment program or something?
It wasn't a treatment program.
What was it?
I don't know what it was.
It's old school, dog. Go ahead.
But I've often wanted to bring that kind of element into treatment.
There we go.
Yeah.
But she got out, and he got, a lot of people said a lot of horrible things about him, but she never used again.
Did she get in a program too, or just all that stuff?
No, like this was
I know her.
And she is like a businesswoman married to a judge, and her daughter is.
So Bobby, how do we understand that? Just because that's not traditional addiction, right? Traditional addicts go back; they need something to keep them sober.
I don't know. I mean, for me,
I call it dependency. So she's a meth dependent addict rather than a full blown addict.
Yeah, I don't view it all the same. All I know for myself, that's why it's like, I just know my story and the way I feel. I can't be out there, just me personally, right? And I've seen other people be able to do things. Even if there are drug addicts.
No, because there are different flavors of addiction.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Different flavors.
You're what I would call real deal. Like you're the real deal.
I'm old school. Yeah,
real deal.
Yeah,
old school drug addict.
Yeah.
Your sister got dependent on meth, which looks to all the world like addiction when they're in it, but when they get they respond to treatment very similarly to a Bobby-like addict, but later they don't tend to go back as much. It's interesting. I don't know how to think about that even.
I always sometimes think about like before 1935, before 12-step groups started, what I would be a traditional, fun-loving hobo. You know what I mean? I'd be that guy like, oh, there's Hobo Bob.
That would be the best outcome.
Oh, you think so?
The reality would be dead.
Yeah, I would die for sure. Yeah, but I would still do the dance, right?
Like going from trash
with a stick with a little sack with white polka dots on.
Yeah. I also do the cart thing. Like sometimes I would pretend that I have no legs, and they go, "Oh, Hobo Bob's doing the legless thing again, right?"
He got run over by a train.
Yeah, people just give me whiskey and stuff, and I would live in like an alleyway, and I would die early. Yeah, but I think that's what my outcome would be.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank God that we, you know what I mean?
You are kind of a friendly alcoholic, because I remember a weird one too, because he had locked himself in a hotel room, and I was like, knock, knock, let me in, before I kicked his fucking door down. Let me in.
She says with a smile.
Hold on, sweetie. Hold on. I don't want you to see this.
What was it?
Just fucking Clamatos everywhere.
Clamato, yeah.
You drink Clamato when you drink? Oh man, it's worse than I thought.
My dad,
such a Korean thing, like tomato.
Yeah, my dad did it.
He
mixed beer with Clamato. So I did it.
I think to myself, you know what I'm missing is more clam. I need some clam with tomato juice.
Yeah. My dad loved it, but I just couldn't drink beer on its own. Anyway, I like whiskey, but my point is that I'm a fun-loving drunk. I think at times. But like a real weird guy on weed.
Oh, we saw that.
Yeah.
Be
weird.
Careful.
But another thing.
Glad you know that. By the way, in this world, in California, somebody could talk you into it. No, this is good for you. Better if you're trying.
California sober.
Oh no,
yeah.
no.
But he also started on ADHD medication.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't like it.
Oh boy.
I know. So Here's why I forgot about our encounter.
Because
you didn't want to tell me.
I mentioned it to you in Austin.
And I said we had to talk about it.
And you said we'd have to talk about it. And I went, oh my God, this is not good. Him and Tom Cruise are the same.
Let's talk about it. I want to know.
So is it Adderall? Is that
it's a Ritalin.
What?
I just worry about it. That's
why?
Because it's an amphetamine?
Yeah, it has the potential to stimulate those parts of the brain that we associate with addiction. Now, I'm not going to argue with success. You're doing great. Right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it has.
If your sponsor signs off on it,
he does, and I have an adverse effect to it. Almost, it's like I don't. When people say speed, it doesn't. It makes me. I could fall asleep right now.
Well, that's what it does to stimulant addicts. Stimulant addicts go down on stimulants.
Yeah, it's weird.
Typically,
Oh.
Yeah, but also so do ADHD and ADD patients too.
Yeah.
So you sort of
makes me call it like. When something has the opposite effect of something.
It's like idiosyncratic, really. It's
idiosyncratic.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
But it is common. Not a lot of addicts necessarily spin up. This is what people get a little misconceived about. I could tell when somebody's on meth. You may not. Because sometimes
you're worried that it's going to trigger...
I worry it keeps the biology operating. You're doing all this hard work to stay sober, and part of the staying sober is letting those parts of your brain just re-equilibrate, and you might be tickling that part a little bit through all this time.
I'll tell you, doctor. Yeah. I'll tell you something. Yeah. And this has never happened before in my life. And this happens probably once or twice a week. I'll have a conversation with somebody at a comedy club, and halfway during the conversation, they'll go, whoa. And I'll go, what? And they'll go, you're still here. And I go, what do you mean? It's like, usually this is about the time where you walk away.
During a conversation.
No,
I know it works.
And I want to listen.
Yeah.
And
don't get me wrong, it works.
And it does work for me. And if I wasn't on it, I would be... I don't know about my happiness, but I think I would be...
Hey. What are alternatives to...
Yeah, what is the alternatives?
There are some non-stimulant ADD medications out there.
Are they just as effective?
No. They'd be different. I don't want to kid him. They're not as effective, but sometimes they are. Even clonidine, is one of those, Intuniv and this stuff. It's one of the medicines they use for this to try to avoid the stimulant part. But you're doing great, right? You just keep telling your sponsor what you're doing. And if he sees you start to go south, you'll have somebody there to tell you.
But what are the tell signs?
Your thinking gets fucked up.
I see.
You know how that works, right?
Yeah, I do.
This is the problem with addiction, is that it's not striving or preoccupying or craving. It's you start thinking things are good ideas that get you closer to a relapse, right? Including hiding from your sponsor, these things that you're like, I don't want to tell them about this. Those are good ideas. That's your brain going, that's right, that's a good idea. Because then a little later on, we're going to try something else, and then a little more, and now we're all full in.
Could it give you like a false sense of confidence in those?
I don't know about false sense. It could. You mean the stimulant?
Yeah.
Well, stimulant can make you grandiose if it's not working right. It can really go inflate.
I don't agree because
I don't see that.
Because since I've been on it, right, in the last 7 months or whatever, right, it's driven me into going to meetings more. Because I can still feel, right, that if I don't, I'm depressed, I'm feeling not connected to people, and it's forced me to go, you know what, this is the feeling that you have when you go out, so I'm going to do a counter thing and just keep going to meetings. Right?
So this is why I'm not absolutely dogmatic about everything, right?
Okay.
Your sister's one flavor, and your dad did this thing that has ethical problems with it.
Your dad did this thing,
but it's a thing that works for that kind of addiction.
Super unethical, I'll say.
And Bobby has multiple things going on, and if you don't pay attention to some of them, it can also take you out. So maybe he's at a stage right now where treating the ADD or ADHD. It's ADD, right?
ADHD.
Yeah, ADHD. And if you don't treat it properly, that's a risk, right? So it's you got to navigate. As long as he's looking good, doing good, being honest, being of service, telling the sponsor everything, you're in pretty good shape today. And again, it's one day at a time.
One moment at a time. And I also, everyone in the room, I want to say, if you see behavior, right, that seems concerning,
tell him, and he'll tell you,
I would love.
I've been there.
No. Hello,
lieutenant, man.
Yeah. Listen,
I'm fired. You're the lieutenant.
Yeah,
not really fired.
No. Right. I'm letting everyone in this room call me out on it. Would you? I don't think you do it though, George. I think you're too scared.
He is really nice.
There's no reason. Yeah. Use wonderment.
You've never said anything, even when I was like, "Were you in Mexico with us?" Yeah. Turn this mic up.
Oh, use wonderment. Go.
When I was in Mexico, you never didn't say anything.
But saying something down there wouldn't have done any good.
No,
why?
He had strategy there.
Because when Andres tried to tell the waiter to not give you any alcohol in your drink, you started ordering doubles. So you're very much.
It was different.
And I understand that when anybody tells you not to do something, I want to do the opposite.
It was in the wild too. As you're in Mexico.
So there, it was more of a try to appease to a level that you won't go even further.
Yeah, and the one thing I did tell George was because I didn't want you to go to Mexico, I begged your management to say, hey, you got to cancel this. He's really unwell. He's just in a full-blown fucking alcoholic binge. But all I told George was, I don't care what you do, just bring him back alive. And then we'll talk about like an intervention when you get home.
Have you thought about being a drug counselor ever or anything that kind of work?
No, because I don't think I can relate well because I've never had any addictions or.
You understand it better than most. I can tell. Just
you'd be a great therapist.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I would be real. You'd be great.
That.
Yeah.
And that was scary that you said that the night that he ran away and we couldn't find him.
Yeah, was my voice just ringing?
I ran away where?
Into the jungle, Bobby.
Yeah, me and Andres were trying to walk you back to your room, and you noticed that we were trying to walk you back.
You were hiding, I believe.
And you were like, oh, then I want to go this way.
I got in a fight with that Palestinian guy.
Oh, God.
And he thought, I need more Clamato.
I wasn't even there for that.
Yeah, I got in a fight with a Palestinian guy. I just vaguely remember, I was like, no, I mean, it's like, why you guys can't get along with the Jews?
Oh, boy.
You know what I mean?
Why?
Why? You know what I mean? And where's the Jewish? I want to tell them, let's get together. You know what I mean? Like I was going to try to negotiate the peace right there, right? But I went off to do that.
Oh, well.
So sorry, I was trying to save the world.
Let you go sooner.
I was trying to save the world. Yeah. All right.
But they did bring you back alive.
Yeah.
And then you did get sober soon after. We were driving you and I to Koreatown, and I looked at you and said, what's up?
It's time.
What do you mean, what's up?
I was like, is it time? And you looked at me and you said, yeah, I think so.
I think it's time, yeah.
And George, if you use a lot, don't ever come straight at people. Use a lot of wonderment and questions. I'm wondering, Bobby, if you ever thought about or
that's a good tactic.
Oh, it's called therapeutic wonderment. Wonderment is the best.
Wonderment.
But from here, before that's that, okay? But from here on out, both of you guys, you say something.
I can't be the
and
if he yells at you,
you've never said anything. Ever.
Pertaining to some other stuff. I don't tell you don't do that. I will look at you and you make no eye contact with me because you know I'm being serious.
You get uncomfortable when he gets serious.
Oh, that's right. Because you're the silly guy.
Yeah.
And when the silly guy gets serious, it's weird.
The one time I feel
Stop being fucking serious.
The one time I feel like you actually like really absorbed what I was saying.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. It was in the middle of your guys' breakup. The tension I had was talking between both of you separately. And I was here to fix something. I was like, all right, peace, bro. And you're like, and you just stood up from playing and crossed your arm and started pacing, started asking me questions about your relationship. And I was like, oh, okay, he wants to talk. So then I was not there to tell you what to do, but it was more.
Was I sober then or using?
You were sober,
yeah.
But it was a very tense time.
Yeah. Because I care about what you think and I respect you as a human being. I feel like we're friends.
Yeah, of course.
And so from now on, if you see your boss,
say something.
Right? The Korean Elvis, right? Almighty, all right? Act awry. Say something.
Because it's the Adderall talking. But anyway.
Ritalin.
Ritalin, whatever.
Yeah.
Silert, whatever you're taking.
Because,
what are you taking?
What do you mean?
Are you taking Ritalin?
Yeah.
Tried it, Ritalin. Right. The long-acting, the CR.
Not a lot, though.
The long-acting one?
Not a lot of milligrams.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and there's some days, like yesterday, I didn't take it at all. Because I was sick. And I just kind of went, I don't want to take it right now.
But that kind of concerns me. If you're not taking it at all, you save it. Do you like double up the
No.
See how good you are?
No, because if I take because my thing is 15 milligrams, right? If I take more than that, it doesn't feel right.
Okay.
I feel like I could just make a noise to show you how it feels.
Make sure who's ever prescribing.
I'll make the noise real quick though.
Okay.
Like,
that's not fun.
Yeah. That's it.
Just make sure whoever's prescribing understands addiction, like really understands it. If not, kind of be careful.
What do you mean understands it? What the fuck are you saying, man?
Psychiatrists don't understand addiction.
I know. I have a therapist and a psychiatrist.
Do they understand addiction?
Yeah, they love it.
Okay, good.
They love the shit.
Or do you have to kind of teach them?
No, they love it.
Okay.
They know everything about it because my therapist, her husband has 35 years of sobriety and all that kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah, there are people out there that know how to do this. So good.
Yeah, I know they do.
Good for you.
Right? You're not the only one that knows things.
No, but I know that. But
and I'm not afraid of you.
It's
all right. That's why I didn't call. You just said the Ritalin thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's mad at me, right?
I know. There's always some reason.
Yeah,
there's always a reason.
Yeah. And I don't want to get in that conversation. Now we're having it.
Yeah.
Right.
All good.
And I think you're wrong
about
me on the thing.
On the Ritalin.
Yeah.
Didn't I just sign off on it?
That's great. Let's move on.
Is that wrong?
Let's move on. No, we're not. I'm just saying.
I must be wrong about it. Oh, yeah, you got to get off that shit. You're right.
Dude, wonderment. He's good with the wonderment.
Yeah.
That was the opposite of wonderment.
Yeah, I just have to say that, though. But also, can I just say this? Is that I grew up watching you.
Yeah.
You have to understand this in your mind.
Okay, I'm trying.
All right? So I was a fan of yours. I'm like, so the first time I met you, I was like, holy fuck, I know Dr. Drew. He knows my name, right? And now we're segueing into this friendship thing, right?
It's hard. It's weird.
So I think I'm beyond it now.
Okay,
but I don't respect you
But
anymore.
That's really interesting. No, listen.
Yeah,
that's right. That's really literally what's happening.
Yeah, like back in the day.
Oh my God, look how young I was.
Oh my God, look at you.
You aged very well.
Look at you, man.
I feel like you're hotter now, Doctor.
Yeah, you're so hot.
You got the Daniel Craig thing going on now.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So funny. Ugh. But you're pointing at something really interesting that nobody talks about.
Thank you.
But let's talk about this because
I want to.
Because I was a fan of yours too.
Fuck yeah.
Back on Mad TV days. Yeah. And it is this weird thing where you have to like end the fan unilateral relationship and have a real, you know what I mean? It's very weird.
It's a weird thing.
It's a weird thing, and it takes time.
It does.
And I've got a lot of people in my life like that, and if people aren't, I don't even imagine anybody has that with me. So I just move on. You know what I mean? I don't. Do you imagine people have it with you? Like
I don't. You can't imagine that people have it with you.
Yes,
personally,
that's what I'm saying.
Right, but I'm telling you, I had it.
No,
with
I
you.
get it, but I have the same exact.
Yeah, you're doing the Pac-Man.
Right.
Okay.
You're right. You're right. You're right. I shouldn't do that. That's obnoxious.
No, I love it.
He really does not think. He does not have any problem with me now. It's just like
so. I'm not afraid. Yeah. But you're right. It is an interesting thing.
Who else did you have that with? I'm trying to think.
Howie Mandel was another one.
Yeah.
It gets.
And he's the nicest guy in the world. So it's so.
I love him.
Yeah.
But the first couple of years, it's like, I'm with Howie Mandel. But now when I see Howie, it's like there's no thought at all. You know.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with Matt Walsh because we were doing a movie, and I go, like everyone here on the set is like, can't believe you're in this movie.
From the vice president Veep.
Yeah. And he's like, what? I go, you don't know that about yourself? He goes, no, why would I think about that? And we had like an hour conversation about what that all means, but it's like...
Any conclusions? Because it's kind of... Nobody discusses this. It's kind of an interesting topic.
It's an interesting topic, yeah. It's like... And I think it's a natural human
it's a
feeling.
They get excited to be around people they have this relationship with through screens and stuff.
Right.
It's an excitement. You can kind of
There's
see
an excitement,
like,
but then you get to know them as people, and they're, especially when you have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
There's arguments that happen. There's and then you just kind of naturally forget. You forget
the old relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what happened when I think we first had sex.
What?
I was like, oh my God, Bobby Lee's inside me.
That's right.
I said the same thing.
That's right, you did. And I said I was raw dogging.
Like, there is a sense of like, because I think like a year prior to that, I saw you go up at the Comedy Store right after Chris Rock.
Yeah.
And you obliterated the room, and I was like, I went there to see not you, but you like.
Certainly not him.
Yeah.
But I was like, no shit, like he's the funniest motherfucker. So, anyways, there was a point there where I was like you'd be asleep, and I'd look over, I'd be like, huh.
Yeah.
This is strange.
It's strange.
Yeah.
Like we're in love. We're in love.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we're friends.
Yeah.
Like we talk every day. We have a life together.
Too, yeah.
And then you get used to each other.
And then you forget. You really do forget.
You completely forgot.
I forgot quickly.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Forgetting.
Yeah.
Forgetting.
As soon as the fungus in the foot started happening, like just the weird stuff started happening. I'm like, you're a gross little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wear my Dr. Ken mask. You know what I mean?
What was the girl's name on TV? You sat on and fart in her face and
Krista
Flanagan fart in her mouth.
Yeah.
On her yogurt.
But she already knew. She could have warned you. You see, she knew Bobby was
intimately. Yeah.
Yeah, like when I did that to her, for instance, right? She's like, I don't know this guy, and I did it. And then over the last 8 years we were on the show together or whatever, I could do it 7 years in. Right? I just did it in the wrong time. Farting in her mouth.
Yeah.
You think that
too soon?
Yeah.
Way too soon. Yeah.
She wasn't ready for it.
But it is an interesting thing that, like,
I'm not sure she ever would have been ready. For farting in the mouth.
Fart flavored yogurt is just not a thing. People.
Not a chick thing.
I know it's not a chick thing. I understand that. I understand that. But I'm just saying that it wouldn't. She wouldn't have called her lawyer.
She would have understood that.
She's like,
Bobby does.
She could even say this, like, don't ever do that. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Right? And it wouldn't turn into this thing.
Yeah.
So I don't fart in anyone's mouth anymore. I learned that was my last time. That was my last fart in one's mouth.
You learned.
Right? I'm just saying that if a hot chick came up and farted in my face, I don't know if I would be like, I'm going to get a lawyer.
Different.
Yeah,
it's a different. Yeah,
men different.
They're a little different. But it's so interesting. If a woman that wasn't attractive did it,
I'm just thinking, what if
I would be upset? So what's that all about?
Right. What if Magic Mike had done it to Krista? Would that be okay?
Channing Tatum.
Right. Channing Tatum did it to her. She would be like, yeah.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
No, you know
more.
You know what they do? They laugh. He's so funny.
Right. And because I'm a fat Asian guy. Oh my God. Racism.
No, listen, it's his racism.
It's racism, dude.
It's anti-Asian
That's what it is.
racism because
that's where it started. Stop Asian hate. Yeah.
Remember Mike Cathwood, my friend from Loveline, Mexican guy, really good looking guy. That dude would say and do horrible things to women, and they would just laugh. I'd go, "Don't laugh at him. It just makes him do more of that."
Right.
It just you're laughing at him and not Bobby because it's him. You're looking at him, and then you start laughing.
That's right.
I see what you're saying. It's like Jack Knight's R.I.P. Jack Knight's joke. He was like, "Yeah, like if I were to get herpes from my partner, I'd be pretty upset. Unless if I got herpes from Beyonce,
it's
a mark of distinction.
Yeah.
Proud of that's another interesting thing that we're getting in at, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I wish I was better looking. I can fart in people's
No,
that's the reason.
You're fine. You're good.
I would be that.
You're good because then you wouldn't be Bobby Lee.
The fart burglar.
That's another weird thing.
What?
But then you wouldn't be Bobby Lee, and I like Bobby Lee.
But that's who I am, essentially.
What?
The fart guy.
I know you are.
Yeah,
but I don't want you to be the Channing Tatum fart guy. I want you to be Bobby Lee fart guy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. What is the psychological thing behind someone wanting to be a nudist or naked all the time?
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's a lot of things, right? Yeah. I mean, naked all the time in their own home or like in a nudist camp, you know what I mean?
Just like always having the urge to undress.
What do you think that is?
Everywhere.
What do you think that is?
I love it.
You just
what do you mean where? What do you mean what it is?
What does it do for you? What do you
It doesn't do anything.
What are you doing?
I don't care though.
But you like it.
It's not that I like it. It's just like I don't understand why people don't like it. So I do it. I don't understand why people don't like it. So that's why I do it.
Do you know why people would not like people farting in each other's mouths?
That's different.
It's different. Okay.
Because farting, but there's you can get COVID.
Yeah.
Probably. Can you get COVID through farting in somebody's mouth?
Yeah, I imagine.
Exactly. You can imagine, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I don't know.
That's why I have an ass mask.
Maybe not.
Yeah, but they should have an ass mask.
Interesting question.
Yeah. But my point is that I think it's being naked though. It's not like that because it's not an assault. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm not touching you. I'm not saying anything
Khalyla
weird.
feels assaulted.
Like if I got completely naked right now, right? Everyone in this room would be weirded out.
That's an assault.
Yeah, but why?
Make me uncomfortable. No.
Why would that make you feel uncomfortable, doctor?
It actually wouldn't. It would.
Exactly.
Have you seen his penis?
No, I'm not doing that right now.
No, thank you.
We're not doing that.
Sorry. No, thank you.
We're not there yet.
No, thank you.
Doctor. Yeah, thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
I don't want to see his penis. I don't want to show him my penis.
Yeah.
So in any event,
I feel like that's like okay.
What?
But I wonder where the I don't have any objection.
I think you're right. I think what it is. You know what it is. You just because of the fact that I will never show you my penis. It's showing people that look at what I am. I can do. You know what I mean?
It's waving your penis at them.
Yeah, but it's not a sexual thing. It's
no.
more of like
No, it's like
dominant.
at Spamalot, the Frenchman on the behind the castle walls, going, "I wave my genitals at you."
Yeah.
Sort of a power move.
No, it's like a snow leopard.
Okay.
Like a
It's
snow.
not because snow leopards are elusive and maybe you see them like once every 10 years. Everyone's seen your penis.
No, but in the sense of this, right? What a snow leopard will do, right, is to communicate with people is pee on a rock.
Okay.
It's marking.
Not with people, with other snow leopards.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So I think I'm
You
marking.
pee on rocks, yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, your penis is marked.
There is a
I'm
weird.
marking,
Men
yeah.
do have a weird marking kind of impulse. That's
I think that's what
poorly
it is.
characterized. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does it
Yeah.
even to this day, even now that we're broken up.
What? I mark you?
You mark me if you suspect I'm on the phone with a boy.
You are.
He'll barge into he'll barge into my space and say, "Sweetie, babe, I love you."
Good.
Like, or no, he does this. He's like,
good
"Babe, can you
strategy.
make me a
Good
sandwich?"
strategy. Oh, it's even better.
Or give me the pasta. Make it the pasta.
Yeah, make me the. Oh no, the other night. Can you make me the pasta now?
Yeah, make me
I
the
asked
pasta.
30 minutes ago.
Yeah. That's me marking.
So you're
exactly what I'm
you're
doing.
into sort of power moves, right? That's sort of your thing.
Well, I gotta let
power-
these guys know because these guys are better looking than I am, right? It's just on the surface, right? But I have to let them know that like I'm
Who's
still
in charge?
I'm in charge.
Yeah. And so
And I'm around.
but that's I have like zero thoughts about power, like zero. I really don't. Maybe I do and I don't know it. But what are you looking at me like that for?
I don't know you that well.
Yeah.
But I'm beginning to know you.
Okay.
And I think that there's something about you. I don't know how you became who you are, right, Dr. Drew? But I'm pretty sure subconsciously you like the fact that people know who you are.
Because I like people, and I like that people just come up to me. Because I'm so fucking shy. I had 3/4 of my life. I would never have the kind of contact with other people that I've been.
Yeah, I
privileged
felt
to have.
invisible my whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I don't like fame for fame's sake. I like being known because I get to interact with people in these wonderful
Dr.
ways.
Drew, didn't you say that you were very detached from feelings?
I had
your
a certain
emotions?
dissociation stuff going on too. Most of my life. I was traumatized too.
Yeah.
And but I really still though am quite shy. If I don't have something to do in a crowd, like I have a purpose, a job, preferably.
Right.
I can't. I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I like it because I get to be nice to strangers.
Yeah.
And
people are great. And if you love people, it's
do.
like this great blessing, right?
Yeah. And before I would walk into a bar and just feel like no one's, in my early 20s, I was just.
Me too.
I'm invisible.
I'd have to not even go. I feel so.
Yeah, like I don't even want to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, but I think that
hope for everybody.
Does that make you sad though that we have to do that?
It makes me sad for other people that haven't solved that problem. The fact that I've kind of solved
interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But it makes me. I have this weird. I get sad for people all the time.
Me too.
Really
and you know what I want
to TikTok. I get sad a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What's that?
But aren't you happy though? And this is I've been reflecting about my life. You know, not that I'm going to die soon.
Who knows?
But there.
Well, I'm going for the governorship.
Yeah. But there's a lot of reflecting back, and I'm so. I mean, we've had some tough times. I've been in and out of being sober, this and that, and my dad dying, and my mom being alone, and my brother's doing his thing, and all this stuff. Even with all that, right?
You're grateful.
I'm beyond grateful.
Yeah.
I cannot believe this is my life.
So that's probably the healthiest thing I ever hear people say, and I have similar feelings. I just have lately not some COVID fucked me up a little bit, but I generally have gratitude every day.
Me too.
And it also tells me how your program is going.
Really?
Oh, gratitude is a key.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's things that there's a little bit of jealousy still, and like Andrew's in Australia now. He booked another big movie.
Oh, I just learned a new word.
What?
From our friend Shanti.
What'd she say?
It's on her podcast, her new podcast, and it's the word compersion, which is the opposite of jealousy. It's kind of just feeling thrilled for somebody else.
I am thrilled for him.
And you can be both. You can have two.
I'm a combination of both.
You can have two ideas.
But it's not about
It's not envy though. Envy, he would have to destroy him.
Right.
Jealousy is I want to do that. Why can't I do that?
It's not even that. It's like when he books a job now, like and a big movie and stuff. It's like it's not like why. It's like I know why. I love him, Andrew. He's so talented. He's a great actor.
You're a good actor too, but when I did before I knew him, he's another guy I was sort of excited to know.
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm compelled to watch him. He's funny as shit.
So funny, right? So that's not what the feeling is. It's like, no, you deserve that.
Yeah.
That's all you, baby, right? It always goes back to me, and it's like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, wrong, but why? How about why can't I?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm on hold. I mean, I sold 2 shows. I'm on hold for a huge movie right now. This is between me and 3 other people, 2 other people. So I got stuff going on, but still there is.
Why don't you do improv anymore, or do you?
I've never done improv.
Wasn't really sort of a Mad TV or sketch, I guess would be the way to describe it.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to create a sketch group and then perform it live. That's weird.
No,
you should.
But I just have a feeling the sketch once. I don't know, like it would come back again. I have this feeling.
No. You're right. I mean, me and Andrew want to maybe do a sketch show. I think we've talked about doing a sketch show.
I just feel like it's time.
It's still a possibility. But I did that.
Okay.
I did it for 8 years.
Yeah.
And a lot of
you would come in every year to Loveline and announce the show had been canceled. Every
year.
I know. You and Will Sasso.
And I know.
Come in and go, that's it. We're officially done.
We're done.
We're done. This is it. It's been canceled. You did that in year 1.
Because we never got, I'm probably the only show in history where they said, we're going to take it year by year.
Jesus.
Well, and at the end of every season, and at the end of every season, they went canceled. That's it. They announced them all.
There's no way.
Get a job. Yeah. It's over. It's over. They'd come in. They'd be guests on our show, and they go, you're not going to see us anymore because you used to on the same set. You used to do it over in Hollywood Center, right?
I love that place.
Yeah, me too.
I just had that feeling you guys were talking about like seeing someone, like having reverence for them on TV.
Yeah.
If you and you sat here together, it's like you were my high school years, like Mad TV. And then Dr. Drew at night.
Yeah.
And it was just it shaped so much.
So that's weird. I apologize.
But
anyway, for both of us, I apologize.
It's like I'm almost dissociating thinking about it.
It is weird if you go back to that. It's just sort of this odd.
But we don't think that. That's an interesting. You don't think that. You wake up and you go, I'm hungry, right? And I go, God, I feel a little depressed, right? And then you get a meal. You know what I mean? All these normal human things. I wonder what my mom's
think of all the crazy things we've been able to do and been around, people we've been around.
I know.
Very grateful.
It's so surreal.
It's very
surreal. And I told somebody last night, I go, you should never, people dream, right? And as a young person, I dreamt all these fantasies about show business and early on in my comedy years. And I go, if I just did this, this, and this, God, please. But
It's never that.
It's not. No, God did things for me that I couldn't even envision for myself.
Yeah.
And that's what's great about.
Maybe that's why I get very skeptical when people always talk about you got to have a goal, and then you're this goal, and then that goal. I'm like, you need to improvise. You need to like.
No, you have to do. You have to do it. Whatever your passion is, do it. The fucking results aren't up to you.
Yeah.
But the results are always more magical and otherworldly than you would.
Yeah, they're not. You can't. There's no blueprint for a lot of these things that are really interesting.
Yeah,
I still have no blueprint. I'm still day to day.
I don't know. What's also great about if you're a guy that's taking risk and always out there and trying to live their dream and stuff is what's great about that life is that every day could be the day. Because when you get a job,
something fun
it's like
happens.
a little open dopamine, but it's like a little lottery hit.
So for me, I had no fun in my family of origin. So fun is very important. My wife is very fun. All the stuff we do is very fun. But back to your having your dream come true kind of thing. I have no objective in media other than to use it to do something, to do good. So for me, it always is very, very purposeful. I can't imagine what it'd be like if it's just to try to, I don't know, have the next hit or something.
No, that's not what my purpose is.
But hang on. So I just want you to tell me what that is for you. Because my thing was like, I got to be able to do good, and I'll put myself in environments where it's not clear what I'm doing good or where I'm doing good, but I'm going to find a way to make it good. But
I think I know what it is. It's a combination of a couple of things, I think. Number one, it's I remember growing up and seeing Asian people being portrayed a certain way, even not as actors and stuff, but as personalities, right? And there was also these lingering stereotypes
for sure
of what an Asian male is. You know what I mean? It's always like he goes to college, he becomes a doctor, all these things. The dreams of my parents.
None of them do that.
You're right, exactly. And I remember going, you know, I'm so not that. Yeah. I'm like the polar opposite. And when I saw Margaret Cho for the first time on TV, I was like, that's closer to what I am.
You must know Margaret now, right?
Oh, I love her.
Yeah. Does she have a similar kind of goal?
Exactly. Exactly. Right.
Okay.
And, you know, like the other day, you know, I ran into Ronnie Chang and Awkwafina, and they were like, the way they look at me, it's like out of respect.
You broke through.
Right. And I just feel like that's one reason. I wanted to show people. And also, secondly, is I like when making people happy. You know what I mean? So it's like when I'm on performing and stuff, and I see them laughing and having a good time, and because I think deep down inside I am a nice guy, and I like doing that for people, and it also I get something out of it as well, obviously, right? So I think those are the two reasons. Is that valid?
I love that. I love it. I love it.
Those are my valid reasons.
Yeah, and also like so comforting for me to see a disastrous Asian. Like when I first saw, not disastrous, but when
she suddenly took quite a turn.
Shit show.
When I first listened to,
I'm a shit show.
No. Like I
love it.
When I heard DVD ASA,
and
I heard David Cho, Asa Akira, and you together in a room.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, these are my people.
That's the ilk.
Yeah, like this is like I love watching Bling Empire and seeing like really rich Asians be fucking disastrous. Like that's I have such a boner for
that show, the New York one.
The New York one, yeah, and it's just like full, just like everyone is pretty like it seems like unstable, and they're extremely
Why do you
rich.
like that?
Because I like looking at the I like to disrupt the idea of like the model minority.
Oh, the perfect stuff. The other stuff your family demanded too was all that perfectionism.
Right. So
also, this is another thing is that because when I told my parents I'm going to be a comedian in 1994, 95, right? They had no one to compare me with.
Yes.
Right. So to them,
scary.
It's impossible.
Yeah, impossible. Yeah.
Right. And it's not the case now, right? And so I feel like
thanks to you.
I had to. I mean, not just to me. I think there's so many people that did that, but I feel like I contributed to that.
Yes, for sure.
You know what I mean? For sure.
I'm just. I want to take off the topic
Go ahead.
Before I forget. Awkwafina, I'm a major fan.
Love her.
And I met her, and I think we fanned over each other, and it got weird, and we couldn't tolerate it.
Yeah.
It gets so weird. When
yeah.
And I'm like, no, I want to be the fan.
Yeah.
I'm the fan.
Yeah.
You are great. She couldn't take that.
She's very good about, giving people their light.
They're what? Light?
Like spotlight.
Oh my God, she seems just wonderful.
She's a wonderful
That just made me more of a fan. So
Yeah,
it's like,
genuinely one of the fucking
Jimmy
best
Oyang
people.
Jimmy Oyang.
Love Jimmy too.
He is I love everything about him. Just
Yeah, I think that crop of kids, you know what I mean, that are below me. I I like them in different ways. You know what I mean, but I never understood, and this is probably something that's going to cause a little controversy, but there are certain wars that happen with certain ethnicities that are in comedy. Like
they're what?
They're
still there.
Yeah, there's the Hispanic comedy community. Like half the people hate the other half. Well, and there's like all these infighting and all this hatred.
You know who brought that forward was Ali Wong. She talks about that in her comedy a little bit.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
But I don't see that in Asians really.
What?
Not
Are
the
you
way.
fucking crazy?
No, Asian comics. Say it. Say what you're gonna say.
Well, that's all comics though hate each other.
I mean, not even in just comedy. Like Asians in general, like there's so much beef between Southeast Asians versus Eastern Asians, and even within the Filipino community, like there's just never-ending beef. Like,
but not in. I meant in comedy.
I mean,
no. Just say it, and then we'll edit it out.
I don't know.
Say what you're gonna say.
Look at that poster.
All right, I love this. I love this game. All right. So that has nothing to do with being Asian.
You used to tell
four
me.
Asian
Hang on
guys
1 second. 1 second.
Wait. Stop.
One second.
Stop. Go ahead. Everyone speak their.
But maybe if you're saying like the Mexican community, like maybe they did shows together as well. It's like it's being close to somebody that makes you have a beef with them. You don't have a beef.
It's your beef.
Your comics.
Yeah,
the reason
I feel like I'm the one that's starting the beef.
I think you are. You're the beef guy.
I'm the beef guy. So I'm the guy. That's why I can't see it in others because I'm the one that's starting it.
It's almost like inevitable when you have the scarcity mentality. It's like you guys Asians had very few things to fight over.
There we go. That's what it is. Scarcity.
But
Scarcity.
But here's another thing too. I've heard endless stories of either Ken or Dat Fan like doing like a dragon kick to your chest. Like you guys have been physically.
You're right.
You guys been beefing forever.
Right, yeah.
Ken attacked you?
Yeah.
Ken Jeong?
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
It's hard to believe.
Did you fart in his face or something?
No,
do that move?
no, but he did not.
Did you deserve it?
Are you guys not good now?
Oh, we're good now. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but we'll never be the same.
Because he's a friend too.
Yeah.
And I used to have him sit in for me on Loveline on the radio.
Yeah.
Because he's an excellent physician. I'm so pissed that he let his license lapse because he was excellent. He's
an excellent comedian. He's an excellent guy. We had a problem.
I would love to pitch again the Kim's a Comedy reunion, having Dr. Drew moderate that.
I'm in. And I want to wear like some sort of like black white stripe
like
referee outfit.
Right. You would need like armor.
No.
And then you would need armor because that'll never happen again.
There's history.
Is that when you got kicked in that particular picture? Like
it was in that time period.
Multiple feuds within the group, different time periods.
But I'm in the middle of all of it.
He's the center. Yeah.
I'm always the center of it, which sucks. Man, maybe it's me.
It's a Taylor Swift song for a reason.
Is it me? Let's say. Let's George. Is it me?
Well, I wasn't there at the time.
I know, but just based on the information that you have, do you think it's me?
Based on the information I've heard, that you wanted most of the money from the shows.
Stop. Go ahead.
It was you.
And by the way,
okay,
you're the only thing you can't control, so you might as well assume it's you.
But you've made peace with all of them. That's what I feel like. Well, not the fourth one.
There's a very popular Taylor Swift song, and it goes, "It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me."
Okay.
And
it's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
Or it's me you're looking for. That's also that one.
Yeah. Hello?
Is
it me you're looking for?
That's a different one.
That's another one.
I think that's you. I think that's more you.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see the video that Ken Jeong did before anybody knew who he was? What's it gonna be?
He's him dancing and stuff and singing?
Yeah.
So good. So good. I don't want to talk about him anymore, you know?
Okay.
Let's not talk about it anymore.
But
you need to go. I went on The Masked Singer just to sort of spoof him and Jenny. You should go on The Masked Singer.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
No, but Ken and I are good, okay?
Yeah.
Me and Steve are good. Mm-hmm. It's just me and the other guy isn't good, but I would like to resolve that soon.
I know you do.
I really do. I'd like to resolve that, and I'm the one that's causing the beef in the Asian community, and I apologize to everybody. I just like it.
Any future wars?
It's so fun.
Any further wars that should come in the future, or your fault? Real wars.
Yeah.
Anything coming down the pipe is what he's asking.
Right now, is there a war?
Yeah, it's like, are you?
I think my problem is this. I talk a lot.
You do.
I talk a lot of shit. And
you're very kind, though.
There's this duality to me, obviously.
You talk shit about people.
No, I don't talk shit. I just I do it in fun.
I
poke
out of love.
He's pokey.
I'm a poker.
Out of love. What do you say about me when I'm not around?
Only good things.
No way.
Yeah. In fact, me and Matt Jones. I don't know if you know Matt Jones.
I feel like I do.
Yeah. I don't think you do, but he's a fan of yours. And me and Matt Jones were. We have a show idea that you're involved in.
Oh, thank you for coming.
In the pilot, and we just spent hours talking about you.
Oh,
yeah.
I have to meet you.
You're an anomaly. You really are. You're one of a kind.
I got to come back on this podcast.
You really are.
I'm having a very different experience this time.
You're one of a kind. Really,
last time I was a little tired. I was like trying to get.
How do you feel this one?
Feel embarrassed.
Dude, how do you? But it was a very good episode. I thought
yes.
Wonderful.
I love seeing you guys doing so well. And by the way,
thank you.
And it feels like there's a certain amount of freedom now too. That's why we're talking about all these.
There's
things.
sadness. I mean, I'm alone in this house. I have to admit to you, there is a genuine sadness.
Has to be.
Yeah, I feel alone. You know, before
maybe a little time at the sex clubs be okay.
No, it's fine. I have to go through this. This is healthy.
Yes, that's exactly right.
But my mom said you called her to come over the other day.
She did.
Okay.
Yeah, to clean.
Okay.
He's just watching movies with your mom.
You want to talk about poor boundaries, Dr. Drew? He calls my mom to clean the house because a girl is coming over. That's not me.
It's kind of funny.
You've got the coolest mom on earth.
She's like, hello. I asked her, I was like, where are you going, Mom? I got to go see Bobby. And I was like, why? He goes, oh, he has a girlfriend tonight. I'm like, okay, bye.
How does that make you feel?
Probably helps you in the long run.
Honestly, it makes me feel like we're probably going to be friends forever.
That's good because I was so sick that never happened.
I know. She told me.
I was so sick.
She said you guys had dinner together.
And then that's it, yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, me and your mom had dinner.
Yeah. I wanted to, sorry, did you want to say
No, but I want to say that, you know, over the last 9 years, when I was laying in bed, I would hear dogs barking and people talking in the living room and life and stuff. So there is, and the cats don't make any noise. I mean, every once in a while, right? But meow every once in a while. But it's so quiet in here, and I think it's healthy. The
grief is definitely healthy.
It is, and I'm just processing it, you know, and it's very surreal. And I have to tell you that I'm not even remotely close in any way of being in another relationship. I just can't even imagine that. You know what I mean? I think right now in the next couple of years, I'm gonna hit meetings and I'm gonna grow, and I wanna. And yeah, you're right. I mean, I like the excitement of like dating people and this and that, but it's just.
Is it the grief? I feel a very intense feeling in my stomach. Is that yours? You have like a grief you hold here?
There's grief.
Is it right here?
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Why?
it. I feel it.
Why here though?
That's right. It's yours.
Is that fat?
No, I'm just feeling
my belly.
I'm a crazy, have this crazy ability to do that.
Yeah, there is a feeling of grief. Yeah.
I feel where other people hold their pain, and I'm having this really deep, like right here.
But I know
but you got to go through it.
Yeah, and I know it's right.
Yeah, you got to go.
Yeah, go ahead.
But it's why. But why the way? Also because I'm feeling it, I could see I would prevent you from like being available for any other relationship. Just no way. No way.
I'd like to add to that by saying, I know you're trying to tell me you aren't just going to jump into another relationship because somehow maybe you think that would hurt me a lot.
No, he can't. It's this feeling is.
I can't.
This feeling is really, you can't. It will hold you back.
But a big part of me truly wants you to find a partner that meets your needs much better than I
think that's why it's going to be almost impossible.
No, but I'm telling you that
I know it seems unfathomable and impossible to me.
It's not
to find somebody that will meet your needs.
Yeah, I mean, I look at my life and I look at how complex my schedules. I mean, because even on dates, I ask certain questions to see if you know what I mean.
I don't think you should even be thinking about what it is that my next relationship should give me, because I think you're going to change so much in this next year of sobriety, and as you get through this grief, that wherever you are, whatever position you evolve into, whatever your growth is, everything's going to look totally different to you. And you might even decide, I'll just date. I don't want a relationship right now. Whatever. It'll be something. But I'm this feeling he's having, which I'm feeling. You can't. It'd be weird to try to be available. Try to even relate to another person. You can't get close when you feel like that. It's hard. And by the way, or you'll jump over that feeling, which is not the right thing.
Right.
He's got to feel it.
Interesting.
I do miss you a lot. I miss hearing your voice. I miss you coming in and out of the room. I miss all of those things. And I know that it's necessary for, this is just the transition period. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. But I do miss you.
I miss you too.
It's okay to cry. What's wrong with that?
I don't want to hug you because you have germs. Yeah, please don't come near me.
You can't touch it.
But
just do this.
No romantic, yeah.
But it is such a weird thing. Like Dr. Drew on Trash Tuesday basically said the same thing to me, which is like, there's no way I could jump into another relationship. Right
for different reasons, but right. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, there's just, I feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, two things are happening where it's like, I have a hard time just dating in the way you date, because in order for me to have sex, I need to have like a mutual liking with somebody, and I need to have that kind of like deeper relationship to feel comfortable with before sex. So that kind of throws me in a weird situationship.
Although, I mean, there are two different kinds of dates that I go on, right? There's certainly women that are like, oh, it's a sexual-based thing, right? Right. But there are some there's one I'm having sex with, and you know what I mean, that we have kind of a friendship, you know what I mean? But it's like, but there are ones that I go on dates where it's like, it's not sexual. It's I'm trying to get to know the person, and if you
should just be having fun, communing with another human.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. It's like hanging out and like getting to know somebody again, you know, whatever. Yeah. But I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah.
Do you have
Wait, I wanted one more question.
Pouring ourselves.
I have one more question for Dr. Drew. Is it unhealthy that I find myself kind of daydreaming a lot? Ever since I was younger, I would kind of just like look away, and for long stretches of time.
That's a dissociative thing, right? Do you have a tendency to dissociate a little bit, right?
A little bit if it's like high stress.
But daydream is another way to dissociate.
Oh.
It can be therapy. It can be useful. You can get a relief from it. But if you're not in command of it, it can sort of, who knows what you're doing in those moments, right? Do you have a tendency? I don't know. I'd just watch it. Just pay attention to it if you can.
There are moments where I stare off, and because you talked about dead spots, and there's really nothing going on in my head, but I'm kind of just like locked into this infinite
I think
something.
That's dissociative stuff. That's all.
Oh,
dissociative.
okay.
And you need to kind of, to be able to move in and out of that is sort of the trick. Not to let it kind of control you, but to go, oh, there's that again. What am I feeling? I'm here. My feet are on the ground, and try to come back a little bit. Make sense?
Yeah.
You have to have attention pieces. You know, I don't know if your attention gets blotted out, so you can't pay attention to what's happening, and then you're really out. But if you can bring awareness, attention to the moment, then you can say to yourself, "Oh, this is that again. Let's."
I see.
Yeah, you want to fill it. You want to kind of fill it up.
Do you have a fear of dying?
I do. I don't like getting old more than anything. I fucking hate that.
It's so funny because since I've turned 50, I've never thought about it before, but now
it'll start. You
start thinking about it.
I was talking to Bill Maher. Every time I talk to him, he and I talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just ridiculous.
And he's a
bit older than I am, too.
I know. He's probably scared of it, right?
I wouldn't say scared of it, no.
Because I know Woody Allen's, I don't know him, but I know that he's petrified of it.
Woody Allen is?
Yeah.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
No, most of us.
He's an old joke. It's like, I'm not afraid of dying. I just don't want to be there when it happens.
Right. He did a movie called Love and Death.
Yeah.
But Bill is mostly what I feel too. It's just it's bothersome. It's like,
it's so bothersome.
God. I went out in the desert and did that special forces thing, and I did that because I was feeling old. I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna get through.
I don't think Bobby knows about it.
That's actually one of our questions. Was, can you tell us about that experience and who would survive in this room?
You got to pull
None
it up.
of us.
Pull it up.
You got to pull it up.
It's a show.
Yeah, it's a reality show.
And you were on it.
I was on it.
It's called Special Forces.
Yeah, I
What
went out
network?
Fox.
Oh, Fox.
I
Oh,
went
great.
out into the Wadi Rum desert and trained with special forces.
Wow, I got to see this trailer.
Yes, see the trailer.
This is right up Bobby's alley. Like he's been wanting to do Naked and Afraids, and
well, I'm up for a show in Australia, and they're considering me to do a survival show in Australia. Did I tell you?
Ooh,
you did,
One of these? Is it SAS or is it?
It's on Mars or something.
Oh God, it's supposed to mimic Mars.
Mimic Mars, and how do you survive on Mars?
This is Jamie Lynn who saved my life.
Oh wow.
Literally. All 16 of us are dear friends now. We were bonded.
Amazing, yeah, this is great.
Way of saying you failed.
So we dove backwards out of helicopters.
Oh my God, I'm out.
I just want to feel like I'm just like worth something.
You will will be a better person.
Guy's jacked.
Damn. Yeah, that's not a show for me. I couldn't do that show. I was like, can I do season 2? There's no fucking way. How did you survive that?
Many of us ended up in the hospital.
You did?
You did, in the ICU.
Yep.
Why? What happened?
I had heat stroke and severe dehydration and stuff, and still wouldn't have traded it for anything.
Well, let me ask you, do you go to 4 seasons at night to go to sleep?
No.
Can you ask for that in your contract?
No, you're in the camp.
They don't have a 4 seasons.
120 degrees. You're an hour from a road.
So you're sleeping what, outside? In a tent?
Tents, and the tents are hotter than outside. It's just crazy.
Wow. And how long are you out there for?
10 days is max, and only a few people made it 10 days. Perhaps
this is not out yet.
Oh yeah, we're like 4 episodes in now.
All right, so you know who wins.
I do, but I can't tell you.
Okay, all right. Wow. So wow, this is so interesting. So
the one thing I can say that I loved about this thing is these fucking women in my group are tough as shit.
Oh fuck yeah.
Fucking Nastya Lukin is like 95 pounds, soaking wet, carrying the same 40-pound pack I'm carrying, and running up.
Were you the oldest?
Yes, by far.
Wow.
That's what fucked me up. I was in great shape. I had no problem. I was having the time of my life. And then, boom, I was just, I couldn't move.
But
I have knee problems.
You do have really bad. I have bad shoulders. But all the heights, anything heights related, I'm out.
You know what? You get like hypnotized by these guys. Like within 4 hours, we were just all just completely at their disposal. And they tell you to do shit. You just do it. You don't even think about it. They just go, listen to us. Do we tell you? You'll be fine. And you just go, okay, yes.
Climb that cliff. You climb it, right?
Yes, Steph. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Steph.
Go in the water. You go in the water.
Yes,
Suck my dick.
Why is always the dick?
Yeah. I'll probably do it.
I'm around. He talks like that.
Wait, I feel I'm curious because I'm really good at just following authority.
Yeah,
if there's someone yelling at me, I'm just like yes. But that's like ingrained in me.
Me too.
But I do.
Can I wear a knee brace?
Yes, you could. You can get
because my right knee is fucked.
You get certain things like that.
All right, so what's the show called? Special Forces? Season 2. Give me an offer. No, right now. Give me an offer. I'll do it.
Can we make sure like your blood sugar is like under control and stuff?
Sure. Why?
It does tend to go up and down.
They have a medical team.
Oh, good.
Okay, good.
Can I bring jujubes?
No.
You can't bring jujubes out there.
You can't.
Milk duds.
There. You're so busy constantly, and they're yelling at you about everything constantly.
Wait, season 2. I want to compete against him.
All right. Okay. No, but let me ask you this though.
That'd be interesting.
Even off camera, they were screaming at you.
There was no off camera. There was no, you never saw cameras. That was all computer.
There's no director cut. All right.
No,
I don't like the way you talk to me.
Sometimes, like
that's what I was saying.
Like when we
your
were
tone right. Yeah.
When we were diving out of the helicopter, there was like a producing team off in the distance. You could see them, and there'd be drones around. You'd see drone cameras coming by you and stuff, but that was it.
So when you tap out?
Yes, you tapped out. You're out. Yeah.
Oh, so
you can tap. That's the whole point. You can tap out anytime.
You tap out, and so people tapped out.
Most people got hurt. In the first couple.
Oh, so when you get hurt, you're out.
It depends how hurt, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was like, please just give me some IV fluids. I'll go back in. They're like, no. Once I put an IV in, you're out. That's it.
So are you still on the show?
No.
You got out.
Oh, in terms of on the
when they airing?
No, I was out pretty fast.
What episode were you on?
Episode 1. It's disgraceful.
You didn't fucking last one day.
It was horrible.
Well,
I did a lot of stuff.
Were you the first?
I did a lot of stuff. No, I was not the first.
What number were you?
I was 2.
That's still fucking bad, man.
I know. Would have done anything to stay. In fact, if they asked me to go back, I'd have a hard time saying no.
Wow.
Yeah.
You would go back.
You should go back season 2 with Bobby and see who gets out first.
Yeah. I'll last more than one, 2.
It's brutal.
Oof,
you can't imagine how brutal it is.
I think that you have everything it takes to do the physical challenges. Your blood sugar is what I'm concerned
keep bringing
about.
the blood sugar. I don't have diabetes.
But
they don't feed you.
Get this guy after
day 2, they stop feeding you. There's no
Can you
food.
eat things that you see like a scorpion?
You could, but it's the
there are no scorpions out there.
No, nothing out there. It's flies.
I'll find something.
Yeah, you have to shit in a pan. We are shitting next to.
Oh, that we're used to.
Yeah.
Oh, pan shitting?
Yeah.
I got that unlocked.
Number 1, baby.
Right. So sleep. Let me ask you. These are real questions. I'm so curious.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to ask you how much, but do you get paid?
Yes.
Okay, so that's number 1. I wouldn't do it for free.
Yes. Nobody does it for free.
They fly you out there.
Oh yeah.
First class.
Emirates, first class.
Okay, good.
Nice.
And where's that at? What desert?
That was the Wadi Rum Desert in Jordan. But they do it different. They just did. It's a British hit. It's a British production team. It's a British thing, and they just did one in the jungles of Vietnam. Apparently, that was rough.
Ooh, I want to do that one because I'm mosquito proof. Mosquitoes do not. They bite me, but I don't have a reaction.
They love me, but you know what I mean. I like the fact that they like my blood.
So I don't know what you have to be a good swimmer in pretty much all this stuff.
I got it.
Yeah.
She got swimming down.
Yeah.
You think
the height stuff?
Although
really
we had 3 non-swimmers, and I felt so bad for them because I was like, just get me to the water, I'll be fine. There's so much stuff that happened to you. Oh my God, so much shit went down.
So wow, that's interesting. And were you scared?
Yes, but not afraid. If that makes sense.
Oh shit!
Like you're shitting your pants the whole time, but you're just doing what they tell you to do.
I'll first blood it, dude. You want to see fucking First Blood, dude? You want to see John Rambo, dude?
You're gonna ask to be left there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll sew my shit with my own fucking shit. You'll see, dude. I'll fuck people up, dude. Fucking Special Forces, I'm the guy.
You got to go watch the season, then. You see what they have.
I don't even know, because that'll throw me off.
Oh.
I'm not going to watch. Give me the offer.
Okay. It'll freak you out too much.
I don't have to audition, right? Because I won't get it if I have to audition.
There's no auditioning. They come around. They come around for you. Like, what do you think? Would you like to do this? I'm like, what? Where are you going? Utah?
Yeah.
Middle East. I'm like, fuck. How am I going to do
that?
And I kept...
So let me... I have a... Sorry. So when you said I'm out, right?
Yeah.
There's a shame on your family. I get it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Shame on your people.
Even you got some shame from it.
I'm so shameful. You may never do this podcast again. But my point is that... So after you're done, do you go to a hotel after that?
Yes.
For how long?
The hotels are shitty. We're way out in Jordan. You're not going to a Four Seasons.
So you spent one day in a hotel and you went back to America?
That happened to be at the other end. But at the front end, they quarantined us all for a week at that same hotel. It was going to be a resort by the beach. Like, wasn't quite like...
It's not a resort.
It was a resort with a lot of bugs and not great food.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was...
Forget it.
I took a picture of the of my weather screen for the day, for the week.
Yeah.
If I was there, I'll just tell you. I'll show... Okay, I'll get it. Give me a second. Speaking of just cutting things
This is so interesting.
Yeah.
You would say yes to it. They call you.
I would have to say who else is doing it.
Well, they get good cast.
Fortune Feimster, I'm in.
It was
I can be Fortune.
This was at the beach. Look at this. That was at the beach.
102, 104.
Oh my God.
That was at the beach. When we went to the desert, it was 20 degrees hotter.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Ron Jeremy.
I'll
do it. I can beat him.
You could.
Yeah. I think I can beat Ron Jeremy.
Ron's got dementia.
Judy Dench. I can beat Judy Dench.
Cast of Ron Jeremy.
Judy Dench. Fortune Feimster. I love Fortune. Maybe take her name out of it. She could probably beat me. Who else could I do? Miss Pat.
I think Miss Pat's got you.
No, she'll quit. She'll fucking quit as soon as she gets to the hotel.
Do you know that?
Nah.
I don't know if I finished the thought, but what I was saying about what I learned is the women in this thing.
You're right.
They
can give birth. That's
My God, they were so tough. So tough.
Women
people are kind of worried about going.
Look at Naked and Afraid. Naked and Afraid, usually guys quit, women stay the whole time.
Yeah, they just are tough as shit.
Women are fucking the best.
Yeah.
They really are, man. Anyway, any other questions or no?
I think we're good on time.
How long did we do on time?
Almost 2 hours.
No.
Yeah.
We've never gone that long ever. When's the longest we've ever gone?
Like 2 something. In the old house. Old house.
That's insane, dude.
Went fast.
It did, huh? I loved it. Give him a round of applause, Dr. G. That was amazing.
Special Forces on Fox. And that was what I call a very good podcast. But you know what? Podcasts aren't just made from just existing. They require what we call super producers. George?
Howdy, guys. If you want to learn what it takes to sit in this seat right here, we have a course at 7akeys.net under the Learn tab. We just did a very successful one, which was beloved. Andres was in charge of that, Fancy from Bad Friends. And we did a week-long intensive.
Hello?
Hey, you're on the radio. What does everybody need to know about our 7 Keys intensive?
Oh, 1, that we're awesome. 2, that everybody learned so much it was a huge success. And 3, that they have a chance to do it again on April. And then a 3-week intensive over the summer where they get to pitch, produce, post-produce, distribute, and talk to industry professionals like us and Gilbert and important people like that.
And at the summer one lucky student will have an opportunity to be a paid intern, work with me, Fancy, Bryce, Pete, Carlos, everybody at the 7 Keys team.
Paid intern? I worked here for 3 years at TigerBelly for free. Wait, and George, where can I find information for this class?
To learn more, go to 7akeys.net and click on the Learn tab.